Welcome back to the Road Show. This morning in the Buzz, one Rhode Island lawmaker has introduced a bill that is modeled after the controversial immigration law now in place in Arizona. State Representative Peter Palumbo says he is fed up that we are all under attack by illegal immigrants, which is why he says he's proposing this new law. Now, basically, it gives local police more authority to question and arrest illegal immigrants, and it makes failure to carry immigration documentation a state crime, and also requires police to question people where reasonable suspicion exists, quote unquote, that the person is unlawfully in the United States. Now, of course, the Rhode Island ACLU is weighing in, and according to the Providence Journal, Stephen Brown, who is the executive director of the local ACLU, calls the bill, quote, nothing less than a deliberate recipe for increased racial profiling in the state. It purports to give police this magical bloodhound quality of being able to sniff out any individual who's in the country illegally. So what do you guys think about this proposed law?
I agree with it. I think it should be put in immediately. There's the key word being illegal. I mean, if it's against the law and it's illegal, then if I do something that's illegal, I'm going to be punished for it. Listen, I mean, you know, why do we have to be the ones to just open up our borders to let everybody in? I mean, you know, do illegal immigrants pay taxes? Do they pay for their health insurance? Do they, you know, are they held to the same standards of tax-paying Americans that, you know, I could go on and on, but that's my point. I think it should be imposed.
I can tell you that I've covered stories where, I remember one in particular where there were two illegal immigrants living in a home and one murdered the woman, and because she had no documentation, you couldn't even reach her family to say that she had died in this horrible way. But there was a lot of flap over this because, remember when the governor was proposing the E-Verify system for workers, there was the similar kind of flap of people saying, you know, this is, and certainly this could be abused. You can see very easily how this could be abused. You know, you could ask anyone to, you know, are you here illegally, or it's very open to you know, the potential for abuse.
I agree with Pat. I mean, it's illegal. It's illegal, and you know, I 100% agree with him. Why is it always us that kind of caters and just, all right, come on over? But I think it could have the potential to open up a huge can of worms in terms of possibly police officers, and not saying they'll do this, but just pulling people over, just constantly questioning
but you
people.
have the same problem with African Americans who get they say there's these issues where they get pulled over and they say there's racial profiling
because flying now as well.
Yeah, right. That more, they're pulling over more black people than they are Caucasians. I mean, you're always going to run into someone's going to say something that there's nothing's perfect. But I will say, you know, along the lines of what we agree on is the fact that they don't belong in this country. So if they don't belong here, then they don't belong here.
I tell you what, I've kind of seen, I have a lot of friends who have come to this country legally. I mean, my mother was born in another country, and I've had friends who have tried to.
There is a right way to come to this country.
Well, there is, but I will say this: I do have friends who were escaping, you know, being political targets, and they came here illegally and then went through the processes of being legal. But certainly, what I find is really interesting is a lot of other states are boycotting Arizona and California, and different places that have put this into place. Arizona, not California. But what you'll find is if you poll Americans, most Americans do agree with this. So I'm really interested to hear what people on our blog and on Facebook and also on our live blog have to say, Courtney, because a lot of very strong feelings on both sides.
Hot button top.
It really is. A lot of comments on both the live blog and Facebook, and some of the general consensus is saying they're illegal and shouldn't be here, so I'll read some of their comments right now off the blog on foxprovidence.com. This one's from Lisa, and she thinks this new bill should help getting them home. She thinks it'll stir up racial profiling more. And Smokey Wolf says they're taking away more and more jobs from us. I don't think it is fair to any of us. Here's the poll there right under the live blog. What do you think of the proposed immigration law? Your choices are A, it'll help stop illegal immigration, or B, it could lead to racial profiling. We have lots of comments here on Facebook. I'm going to try and get to a few of them here. Aaron Scorpio says this may cause problems, but I think if it's done fairly and humanely, it's fine because something needs to be done. They are here illegally. And Diane Cohn says, when we travel to another country, we must carry our passports with us or face imprisonment. And then Jennifer Cipollone says it's about time with a bunch of exclamation points. So if you guys want to weigh in, you can do so. I'm on Facebook now. I'm on the live blog, Vote in the Poll, and we'll be back with the Roadshow poll results in about a half hour. For now, we're going to head